Hey everybody, this is Dust for Dust.on Gaming. With a little bit of modern content here for you. So, been a minute since we've done Burn on the channel. One of my favorite decks, probably the deck I perform usually the best with overall. This version's a little bit different than what I normally been running lately. Normally I've been running almost straight Boros. This is the Boros splashing Destructive Reveler with a little bit of twist in the sideboard. Main deck, pretty much the same configuration I've been running. We cut a Inspiring Vantage and a basic mountain to get another fetch land and a stomping ground in the deck. The main deck spell configuration is the same: 12 creatures, 4 Lava Spike, 4 Bolt, 4 Skullcrack, 4 Searing Blaze, 4 Boros Charm, 4 Lightning Helix, 4 Rift Bolt. Sideboard's a little bit different. 2 Path Exile and 2 Deflecting Palm in the slot we have been having the other 2 Path Exiles in. Still running the 2 Grim Lavamancers for the small creature decks. Searing Blood still for small creature decks also. Exquisitive Firecraft for controlling decks and decks where you need to bring in some other type of direct damage spell when you're boarding out something like Searing Blaze or something, and you're not bringing in Destructive Revelry. Bedlam Reveler for a little bit of grindier action against decks that can disrupt our hand with like Thoughtseize, Inquisition, or even potentially against controlling decks, although generally speaking we don't want to bring these in against counterspell decks. This is kind of our go-over-the-top card for the mid-range matchups. Have not tried this one in a burn sideboard, so don't know how relevant it'll be. I've seen it pop up in a few lists, so I figured we'd give it a try. And then the 3 Destructive Revelries for artifacts or enchantments. Go ahead and pop into a league here. So, been a minute since we've run Burn. Our last league, I believe, was Promise Unjun a couple days ago. So, here's hoping we have a much better showing this league. So, how's everyone doing? School's out, so we're going to be doing a little bit more content here than we have the last couple weeks. Last couple weeks we've been kind of limited by a couple different factors, such as time being the main one. Still obviously have work going on, but we want to grow the channel as much as possible, so we're going to be putting out more content. Definitely going to get back into more standard. Did a little bit of white black vehicles earlier last week, I think. And then doing a little bit of burn to build the war chest back up, because this is usually the deck that I grind when I need some more points and need some more treasure chests. Usually a deck I can count on to at least go 3-2, 4-1, sometimes 5-0. This is a deck that I 5-0'd with a couple times last season here, or last season, last modern whatever league challenge thing. Alright, yes, I'd like to play first. 2 lands, but no 1-drop. Yeah, we'll go ahead and keep it. Not the Birds of Paradise. Interesting. Let's go ahead and pass here. We're likely not bolting their face, so this could get out of hand quickly. Okay. Question is, am I just supposed to bolt this Arcbound Worker, or They did not have they didn't have hardened scales on one, so I'm not gonna push the issue. Okay. reason to attack here. Into the Ravager. It's one of those waiting game hands. I have 10 points of burn in hand right now. And you figure our opponent's going to play some type of spells here. So, hardened scales. Yep. Let's see what kind of stuff is our opponent up to. It's our opponent to 13. Sure. Surprised you didn't animate whatchamacallit in response. But it may not mean to play any other spells, so we gotta be careful a little bit with what we got going on here. Couldn't fetch another Sacred Founder here, tapped. Stomping Ground, huh? Let's go ahead and pass. Eidolon. Doubt they'll cast any more spells, but this Eidolon might be relevant. Probably activate Ink Moth, get in for some damage here. Still surprised they didn't activate Ink Moth last turn when they ticked down Nissa. Okay, sure. You're gonna give me the chance to block, sure. Forgot to activate their Nissa. Gonna go ahead and get our other mountain here. That way, if we draw like Riftbolt or something, we can still kill them. I think there's a decent chance we're dead here. So. Okay. We had a slow hand, missing our chance to kill. Alright, so definitely want these destructive revelries, definitely want these path exiles. Do we want something like Grim Lavamancer here? Maybe? What cards do I not want? Probably don't want the Skull Cracks primarily. Beyond that, certain cards I don't want. Spikes are a little suspect. So maybe bring in the Bloods? Question mark. Or like 1 or 2 Lava Spikes. And cut a Rift Bolt because it's a little bit slow. A little bit weird now boarding with this version compared to the version I'd been running with. So, it's not hugely different, just I don't have access to like all the Path Exiles. My hand was a little slow. This is one of those, if we draw a second land hands, it's pretty good. So, Sacred Foundry, Goblin Guide. Mulligans to 6, keeps their hand, and it's card on bottom. Ancient Stirrings on top. Okay. Hardened Scales. Well, I mean, we're stuck on a land, so gotta hope our opponent doesn't have too much going on next turn. Walking Ballista qualifies as something going on here. Yep, that's gonna be a 2/2. Yep. Trigger, Steel Overseer. Block and shoot the other one, or are you just gonna straight up trade? Sure. Alright, let's see what you hit off this. Another Forest. Probably not the hit they wanted to see there. Man, can I buy a land, please? Walking Ballista. So 6. Let's just go ahead and bolt that, get the heck off the battlefield. play as just a large walking ballista. Yep, seems good to me. Land, please. Sweet. Probably just get our Goblin God killed, but at this point they don't have enough going on the board to really care. Yep. Killing Goblin Guy, deal 1 to us. That goes to 6 here. Have no idea what's in their hand right now. Okay, Opal's hardly the scariest card. Okay. Okay. Bloodstained Mire, huh? Awkward. Guess on that note we can go ahead and kill the Hardened Scales to avoid complete total utter chicanery. I don't think they're going to be able to kill us from here, so no cards in hand, even with that active Steel Overseer on the board. Nope. So we're going to get hit for 2-5 this turn. Okay, sure. And Boros Charm you. They're gonna kill themselves? Sure. Still don't think Lava Man's where I want to be in this matchup. Do I want to take Eidolons out on the draw for something else? Don't think so. Excuse me. This hand's okay. Hopefully you don't have Hardened Scales on one. Nope, just Ancient Stirrings. Alright, see what you find here. Okay. Probably should have played, that was a mistake, should have played Goblin God here. Plays Shaper's Sanctuary, sure. So you're gonna try to play a little bit of a slower game against Burn. Sounds a bit risky to me. 14. You have a worker here. Hopefully you don't have a third land. Okay, so you do have a third land, sure. Steel Overseer, okay. See how interested there. I'm blocking here. Hanger back, Waka. Wow. Huh. Let's continue to pour on the damage. Just a 5 here. Okay. So you get the large hanger back Waka. Yep. No attacks to use. Draw land. Okay, so you are in fact currently tapped out. So grab our basic mountain. Bolt you. Helix you. Call it a game. Call it a game. How did Fluffy Wolf do? Alright. Opponent did not 5-0 yet with that deck that we can see. It's an interesting take on Affinity. I don't know that it's better or worse. Hard to say, hard to say. Against Nij. Alright, so... Sure, opponent good luck. Yeah, this is a hand obviously I'm interested in keeping. Oh, hand just got significantly less better. Good old Bogles. Another glade covered scout on top. So this is a matchup that I don't particularly like. Though to be fair, Deflecting Palm and Revelry could make it a little bit better. Bogles is Bogles, though. They do the Bogle thing, they sing the Bogle song, and then they kill you. This is like one of the matchups where you want something like Deflecting Palm. There's a lot of matchups where I just think Path is strictly better than Palm. Getting stuff out of your way. Okay. Opponent is interestingly not deploying any art or enchantments. That's interesting. Swiftest of Spears. Spike you. Get in for some damage here. Trigger. Feel Horizon Canopy. Sure. 7 points of burn in hand. Okay, so you have a lot of lands. Hopefully you don't go like Ethereal Armor into a Rancor into nonsense. That's game. We're not racing that one. Good old Boggles. Got these Destructive Revelries in my deck. Got these Deflecting Palms in my deck. I think Riftbolt can go out. It's the slowest and clunkiest of the cards. Actually, no, these Searing Blazes are pretty garbage. There are a lot of cards in my deck I don't want in this matchup. Surprise, surprise. Couple Firecrafts. Guess get a Riftbolt back in here. This matchup overall is just pretty miserable. I mean, it's a matchup we can certainly win, but it's not the... Ew. Mulligan. Okay. And probably get Leylined on 0. Yep. Unsurprising. Swift Spear. Hopefully they didn't keep a Bogle. Hopefully they didn't keep a Bogle 7 and they're kinda... Nope. Had it all on 7. Yep. It's gonna be a pretty swift match. Spirit Link. Yeah, that's a card. Okay. Don't really want to take this kind of damage, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Yep. Destructive Revelry, huh? Trigger. Another Glade-covered Scout. Don't think we have a huge chance of racing this, but we gotta try to maximize our stuff. Griff Spoon to boot. Okay. So, pretty sure this just leaves us dead, but in case I did not do my whatchamacallit math correctly. Yep, still 7 power in the air. Alright. Unsurprisingly, 0-2'd Bogles. Quality match for Burn. So how much is Bogles a part of the meta right now? a little over 3%, or right around 3%, according to the results. Yes, I'd like to play first. Another one-lander, jeez. This is a hand I can realistically keep and hope to get there. Feels slow. Keep this hand, although it's not great. Third land, not interested in that. Spike you, go. Alright. So I guess we play out Eidolon. Eidolon's not usually the best in these style of matchups, depending on if this is Dredge. Okay. Looks like this might be Dredge. Guess it could still be Hollow One. Brutality, seriously? Okay, Cathartic Reunion, sure. And no Dredgers, wow. It's pretty rough. Well, it's going to be able to flag this away, but that's going to be like most of their hand. So, it's kind of whatever. Yeah, it feels like I can flag it right here. Okay. I think I would have flagged away my board there, but, you know. Okay, get a blood gas, get an amalgam back? Question mark. Don't think that's good enough though, friend. Okay. Okay. Guess you're hoping to hit multiple Narcomoebas? Question mark. I mean, you're still dead on board, right? Alrighty. So, Dredge. Been seeing Dredge pop up a little bit more here and there, which is I find interesting. It's like I don't think there's been any major like result with Dredge that's popping back up again. Maybe people just feel it's decently positioned. I mean, it went 4-3 this past weekend in the Modern Challenge. And I mean, so get these paths in here, get these Searing Bloods in here. So on the draw, I probably want to take out the Eidolons. They're not great in most circumstances in the matchup. Usually, like, our opponent doesn't spin their wheels quite that much. So, yeah, I think this is a hand I'm interested in keeping. If it hits a second land, it's in a lot better shape. Okay. Plug into 5. Okay. Presume you have, like, Faithless Looting or Neonator here. Land, please. Well, that's not a land, but we'll do what we can. Start the Monastery Swift Spear Parade. Dredging Thug, I'd presume. Okay. That's a pretty decent dredge. Alright, we drew another land, that's a good thing. Attack with the Swift Spear, probably getting blocked here. Yep. Unsurprising. So go ahead, suspend the Rift Bolt. Go grab a mountain here. Cast a Lava Spike. So I fully expected you to do what you did. Okay. They dredge. Thug. So they're gonna start doing the thug life here. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. That kind of sucks. Might have been a reason to hold up the bolt instead. Alright. Alright, just pass. I mean, currently got... So... 13 points burn in hand. Okay. Dredged Imp. Got a Conflag in the yard. Okay. You got a Thug. Opponent's got that Thug life. Go ahead and Boris charm you. Boom. Past your opponent here. No dredge. Interesting. Is there nothing to dredge? Hopefully, I'm gonna say, hopefully you don't have another brutality here or something. Spike you. Okay, there's no Knot of the Bone going on there, so you're dead. Well played, opponent. Well played. You had your sideboard hate card. In Dredge's Dredge, seen a couple different variations. There's been one with a Nod to the Bone in the main deck. There's been one with, I think honestly the most devastating main deck card against Burn that I've seen lately has been Driven to Despair. The despair side of like getting hit 3 or 4 times, discarding a bunch of cards, just absolutely, positively brutal. Sure, opponent good luck. This hand's pretty decent. Keeping our hand. Not sure quite what that indicates. A lot of decks that could be. Sacred Foundry here. Could be Storm, could be some type of blue control deck. Am I getting shock bolted? Nope, looks like Path Exiled. Alright, sure. Pass to our opponent. Could be some type of blue control deck. Nope. Not really sure what's going on over there. Play Swift Spear. Alright, so really don't like fetch shocking myself this much, but I also want to lead myself with the ability to... The heck are you playing over there, opponent? Okay. Still have no idea. Courser. Okay. I think they might be playing the Things and Stuff deck. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Is there a chance our opponent's just dead here? So what are the odds they block here? Okay, so I think you're dead? Question mark. Searing Blaze. Boros Charm. Okay. Kill you? Okay. So, flooded grove. I think this is the Bant Super Friends list that I think I saw on Jeff Hoagland's channel earlier. That was a mashup of the yeah, things and stuff. So 2 Firecrafts, 2 Grims, and 2 Blazes Out? Question mark. Am I supposed to respect something like Leyline out of them? Bring in a couple Revelries and board out a couple of Rift Bolts here. So we know they have Escanta and Courser. In case they have Leyline Sanctity, we want to bring in a couple Revelries here. Well then. Yeah, that's a reasonable hand. Opponent is mulliganing very aggressively. I was going to say, way they're mulliganing, I was wondering if they didn't have something like Monastery Swiftspear has a long way to go. I mean, they could have counter spells, so there's no reason to run spells into anything here. Especially when I'm drawing this many lands. Taking a pluck away with this. How many lands can we draw, man? Sure. So it is the deck that I think it is. So fire off a Boros Charm here. Trigger. Yeah. You did have a Dispel. Nifty. Huh. They did have some type of sideboard tech for us. That's not a nice opponent. Alright, well, Lava Spike you. So our Searing Bloods and Blazes look a little bit better now, but they're still not fantastic. I presume we're just going to block here. Yep. So I'm presuming that my Swiftspear is just going to eat a Path Exile, so I'm just going to go ahead and fire off this Helix here now. And unfortunately we only have 5 points of burn in hand, so this could get Hawkwood. Don't think our opponent has too much going on, like anything like Cryptic Command or anything like that. So, yeah, figured just eating a path here. I guess, go grab a mountain. 6 points of bone in hand. Alright. What kind of terrible, awful play do you have for us? Time warp. Okay. Bolt you in response. Pass the turn. Fortunately, we can't kill you in response, but, you know. Please be coarser. Nissa. That's not nice, opponent. Alright, I mean, I guess we go for it here. Can't have that many counter spells, right? Blessed Alliance? Okay. Kill you? Question mark. Alright, so they were doing that pretty sweet Time Warp deck that had, like, Teferis and stuff in it. It's basically an updated version of the Guillaume Matignon list with running Teferi in it. Deck looked pretty promising. I didn't get a chance to see how it played out overall. Alright, playing for the 4-1 here. I think this is a mulligan. Sin isn't great, but I think we keep it. Definitely bottoming another land. Alright, so planes go. Yep. So my question is at this point, am I supposed to scoop? So 12 points of burn in hand. Not much of it interacts with what our opponent is doing. So I could try to race here. Just burn spells, that's going to be rough, especially if they drop Thalia next turn. I think I'm going to go ahead and concede. So this is very much a knowledge hiding concession, pretty much. Because now I have a pretty good idea of what our opponent's on. And get these out of here. Not really interested in those. Probably cut a couple of spikes. Cut some amount of skull cracks. Try it like this. This hand isn't good. This hand is not good. We're going to go ahead and keep it. Mainly on the strength of this Lava Man. If they, question is, am I supposed to establish this goblin guy out there? It's possible I shouldn't have conceded that match as quickly as I did, but the reason for it was to hide information from our opponent. So, okay. Do you have one drop to go with it? Okay. It's pretty rough for us. My question is are you willing to trade off your Kythian for a Goblin God? Probably not. Especially when you got Thalia coming. Okay, so you are. Interesting. I think that leads me to believe you don't have access to... Okay. Sure. Kill your Thalia. Go get a basic mountain. Pop this Reveler. Pass turn. Now you have Canopy in hand, so you could easily have access to something like Vermaz here. Feels like a Vermaz. Gideon of the Trials. It's an interesting one. So it was nice of our opponent to prevent the damage Eidolon was going to deal. That's not nice, opponent. Nope. Spend this Rift Bolt and pass. Sure. Alright. Alright, so am I supposed to kill Thalia's Lieutenant or dome my opponent's face? I feel like I'm supposed to kill Lieutenant here. Nope. There and there. Now I'm reduced to basically nothing. Opponent has one card, access to two technically. Isamaru? Sure. your horizon canopy here. Okay, sure. That's not a bad one. See if I can induce them to block with Isamaru. Sweet. Ding, ding. Now we're both at 0, but our opponent has Dahlia, sure. Go to crack that on first note. Don't think we're in great shape by any stretch. Okay. I think we take out Benelish Marshall here. Let's reduce the amount of damage you deal to us. Alright, Goblin God is not horrible here. I suppose they have their last card in hand's a path, but I guess we'll find out. Ah, Gideon's gonna be a problem. Okay. Prevent all damage. Okay, sure. Okay. Once again, path your stupid guy. Okay. And that's gonna be it. Alright, 3 and 2 overall. Can't really complain. Thoughts on the various changes to the deck? Not gonna lie, still not a huge fan of Deflecting Palm. Reveler, we didn't play any matchups where that change would have been relevant. Destructive Revelry, obviously we take a little more damage than matchups we normally would. For our land base, that's definitely a cost to have the card in our deck. So, 3-2. The White Legends deck has been fairly impressive. I will say that much. It's like the second time we played against it with Burn, and it's definitely felt like a rough matchup from the burn side. Like the Gideons are a problem, the fast aggression, the disruption, and if we would have gotten to another sideboard game, they probably would have had some type of card we would have had to deal with, like Ley Line or Burrington Forge Tender or Core Firewalker or that kind of stuff. So possible that that concession game one was too early, but I know from experience if our opponent has a decent hand, it's difficult for Burn to race a spells versus creature hand. So it's part of the reason I conceded, and it was also to conceal information in sideboarding. Possibly correct, possibly incorrect. Don't really know. Bogle's matchup, Bogle's just horrible. Dredge is a close, somewhat racing matchup. That Bant deck just feels powerful in the mid-range matchups, but slow and clunky against something like Burn. And then, what was the other match? Oh, the other match was Hardened Scales Affinity. Yeah, that matchup can kind of go either way, really. It's kind of like Affinity, but they're a little bit more. They're a little bit slower out of the gate, but more explosive in the mid game. So, kind of trades off some of Affinity's strengths for other strengths. So, it's an interesting league, 3-2 overall. Kind of hard to complain on that one. So, this has been Dusk for Dusk Till Dawn Gaming with Naya Burn with Bedlam Reveler. Unfortunately, we really didn't get to play the Reveler. So, hope to catch everyone later.